It's the Zazook time. Pre-mark prep on my money climb. Charts and trends, let's make it clear. Trade the day, no fear when you're here. Gamble low, the lines are tight. Plan a move before the fight. Strategy is sharp, we're leading the way. Zazook reps it on the day. Zazook time. It's Zazook time. It's Zazook time. Guess what? It's Zazook time.
All right. Hello and welcome to today's December 20th Crypto Pre-Market Prep. I'm your host, Biz, coming at you live with co-founder Andy. Yeah, you know what? What a day yesterday was. I probably wasted a good whole day actually. Like even till like the early AMs. Like I'm probably on a few hours of sleep waiting for a move, only to witness it pull a move to the downside, which was brutal. Anyhow, no, it wasn't a happy day for me at all. But we're here for another day, and I do wake up to seeing "Look Out Below" as sort of being the underlying tone, the theme for today, perhaps. But I don't know. I also see a bounce, but with low volume, so I'm not convinced either. We may have to just yell it out. Look out below. It seems like that's the vibe. I'm seeing a lot of these crypto influencers also calling more downside. So curious to see what you know, Andy. Have you come across, and with this price action as well, especially with this opening statement.
Yeah, good morning to you, Biz.
Yeah.
So this that you're looking at now with the big, huge red candle is the others. This is all the alts minus the top 10. And today they went down in total 31%. The whole alt market went down 31%. Because our little friend BTC here, if I go back to this chart where we had that likely, could be, and what the fuck, it's heading down to that. Now, yes, there has been suddenly a bounce. If I look here, there's been a bounce when we reached 92.3. But, I don't trust it either. I've not put the volume on, Biz. Let me give it a try. But yeah, I just think this is the pullback, right? And if I go to here, our little friend here has said, altcoin, what altcoin season? What altcoin season? I mean, it's completely dumped down.
That's what you call a literal flash in a pan.
Yeah, right. But if we go to here, I don't know if you follow Rect Capital. English guy, very, very good. He's got 500,000 followers on Twitter, but he is very good, and he posts a lot. REKT Capital. He's very good. So he pointed something out, which is in the 2013 cycle, it took 6 weeks of upside into price discovery before BTC experienced its first major correction in week 7. So let's take a look at that. Because if we go to the week, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're on week 7, and we've started to have a pullback. In the 2017 cycle, it took 7 weeks of upside into price discovery before a first major retrace of 34% in week 8. Now, if we did 34% on Bitcoin, that would be right into what the fuck. Right? So far, not as bad as 2017. In the 2020-2021 cycle, BCC rallied 6 weeks into price discovery before its first meaning of full pullback of 16% it's week 7 now, and he's not wrong. So 16% takes us down into likely. And so we're not there yet. So there's potentially more downside, I would say. Whether we're going to get that now, whether we're going to maintain this bounce, I don't know. We've to be honest, I've been watching it all day. We've had a couple of bounces during the day. We had one here this morning, one this afternoon, not dissimilar to this now. But I'm not convinced by it either. So I don't know is the answer. So I'm now just now actually, and I'm going to show you something because it's not been a bad day for me, to be honest. It's been a pretty good day. But I'm 100% in cash now in USDT. So, but just waiting. But I think now with this new way that I trade, there are opportunities that come up with very minimum risk, and I'm going to show you that in a bit. If we look at the liquidations today, 1.4 billion wrecked, 1.2 in longs. Whoops, what happened there? 1.2 in longs and only 200 million in shorts.
That's it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So people are still getting wrecked. I've used, to be honest, I'm going to show you a trade I took today where I used fairly high leverage, but my entry was so that if I lost, I didn't lose a lot. But clearly people go in and do what you did yesterday on whatever, was it XRP, where you kind of got liquidated?
No, yesterday, no, I was trading in and out of that one several times, trying to basically get the bottom on it, and I think I was in that trade for, I was going in and out for, oh man, at least 14, 15 hours.
Right.
It was rough, like you said. Just like set the alerts and let the alerts go off. That's probably the better route.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I can show you this, but I'm going to go check the charts for a second. No, I cannot. I ran it actually before, but I have, if I go here, I don't want to show you that one. Hang on a sec. This is the secret tab I don't want to show you. Let me save that. Hopefully it's going to bring up BTC now. Yes, it is. Great. I have your festive recap. I don't give a shit. Thank you very much. I have a SQL query that I can run, and what it does is, it's kind of cool. It works on both the 15 minutes and the 1 hour chart. And if you've had a 1 hour or a 15 minute that was red, that's closed, like the last one was, I can't do it on the hour now, but but I did do it actually just before we started the stream, before the 8 o'clock closed. But what it found today, Zen, where is Zen? And as you can see, what this query does is, if Bitcoin is pulling back, it finds those coins that are going up. And this morning I ran it, and Zen was doing pretty well. And it found, and in fact, let me show you this. This is the SQL query here. I ran it just before the hour closed at my 8 p.m. And I've not even checked it out. I've not even had time to look, but it said DEXE was doing the business. So let's have a look, see if it was doing the business. Boom. So it finds those coins that are like literally shooting up when Bitcoin is shooting down. And it actually found me Zen today, which was very good. But the coin that I have been trading today is the exact same coin I was trading yesterday. And I've done very well. Thank you very much. So I mapped out today because when I went to sleep, I was trading, I think, in this area yesterday, and I showed this last night, I think, on the 3-minute table, and I was in here and I was making profits. Let me go back to the 15 for a second. But obviously, it suffered today. So when I woke up this morning, it was up here, and then Bitcoin started pulling back. So on the way down, I'm going to go down to the 5-minute table. On the way down, I was putting in levels like order blocks and demand zones, and I traded there, got 4.8% with leverage. I got another one here, traded that one for 3.5%. And then because Bitcoin was falling like crazy, I just literally found another block here. I think this was on the 15-minute, was it? Yeah. And let me go back to the 5. And I waited for it to come down beneath this the first time. And this is the first trade I did. And I waited for it. I did 20x leverage. And I put a stop in at, when I put the footprint on, I could see there was some resistance at a level. So I put this on at 4.97%, and I got out at 4.97%, which was just short of 100% trade. Then Bitcoin started dropping again, and I thought, okay, I'm going to wait. And just like I did yesterday, it dropped beneath. When it came up, I got in at very little risk. And right now, I got out at this level here. I set a stop loss and a take profit on entry and got out at 12.94, again at 20x leverage. So that's 120, 240% profit. So I had 100%, then 240% profit.
Nice.
So this has been a very good coin for me. But using this setup of going to find demand zones or order blocks and being patient, like just setting your alerts, going off and enjoying your day, and then as long as you're near your computer, get back, trade them all the time on the way down. And now, of course, it's bounced. And I just didn't want to stay in that long. I put this here for a reason. Let me see if I can tell you why I did. Oh, yes. So you can see here. Can you see the imbalance, the red imbalance here?
Yeah.
So I just said, I'm going to put my profit this time at this. I don't care if it shoots. It probably will shoot up more now, because if Bitcoin keeps going back up, this will, by the time I wake up in the morning, probably have recovered. But anyway, great day for me using this exact strategy of finding these areas, being patient, letting them do that kind of liquidity sweep and catch them on the way back up, being very quick, catching them on the way back up. I've got my exchange set up. I've got my take profit. I've got my stop loss in there. I've got my price in there. When it drops below, I click it, I wait for it to go back up. And it's been good today. So sort of 1, 2, 3, 4 trades in the same coin today.
Nice.
So yeah. So no, a good day. And you just, as long as you're patient, if I can do somewhere between 2 and 6 trades a day, and I'm happy with 3, I'm happy with 2, to be honest. If you get the profit that you want, because as I've said before, you can, if you work out every year what you spend, your overheads, everything, and then put that down to a 5-day-a-week trading job. You're a trader now, Monday to Friday, that's what you do. And then work out how many, in dollar terms, how many dollars you'd need to earn. And then double it so that you've got a lifestyle on top of that. If you can earn that every day, then what do you have to worry about? So the skill is managing the risk reward when you take a trade, that when you take it, if you look at this, I had a 1% risk here. That's all. a 1% risk, yet I've had nearly a 13% upside. So that's like 12, nearly a 13 to 1 risk reward ratio. And if I get stopped out, and I occasionally do get stopped out, but before I raise my stops the moment it goes up, I raise them, right? So even if I got stopped out now while we were talking, or if I was still in the trade, I'd be stopped out. So I don't care, right? So I'd already raised my trade up to here, so I don't really care, But so that's how I trade. And if I only get 2, 3, 4 a day using this approach, as you can see, you can get fantastic rewards. You can use higher leverage because your risk is not that high.
Yeah. What's the indicator you're using to identify your stop losses?
Okay, so what I do whenever I get to I'm going to go to a different coin actually. Well, don't let me forget to show you your favorite coin.
Oh,
By the way,
yeah, I mean, you showed it to me. I gave up on that.
I'm going to raise that up there so that I don't forget to show you it. But what I do is, whenever I get to a new coin, I go to the 4-hour. This is a bit busy. Hang on a minute. I need to go to a different coin. Let's use Sui as an example. Now, you remember yesterday I missed a trade in Sui. Before I do this, I'm going to take all this off. But remember yesterday I said I'd missed a trade in Sui.
Yeah.
Look now, I left that on deliberately. But let me just clear this this chart of the two drawings. So I would come to here, I would go to the 4-hour chart, and I would put on the volume profile, and then I would literally put a horizontal line here, somewhere around here, somewhere around here. If there's a gathering of the smaller ones, I might put one around here. I then put one down here, and then I go back to the candles. And from that, I can identify things like demand zones and order blocks, because I just go in and say, right, what happened at that level to make the point of control, in other words, the most bought and sold area within a day. What happened in that day that made that place? Are you with me? So as you come down here, and you have to go down the time frames sometimes to see them, but you can see, if you look at this one, you see how it's been rejected here,
Yeah.
supported here, supported here. So
Broke
you know by these points of control that something is there. So there, what I do then is, if I can't see it directly, I'll go down to the hour and I'll check in the hour and go, oh, look, there is definitely here something. So I then I'd go to here and put this little box on and do that. And once I'd done that, I just put them all on, and then I look for entries. So that's all I do. That's what I do. It works. And then once I've got my entries, if I go back to move, it never dropped down to here, right? But I had this, where was this? Which table was this on? It was probably there. You see that little pivot candle there on the 15-minute. So I drew that in, thinking if it drops down to there, I'm going to wait for it to come into it. It sometimes comes in. If I just draw some things, it'll come in.
I see.
It might bounce up, then it comes down, it goes just below, and then goes up. And when that happens, I'm ready. What I do is I automatically get this set up and I go back in time here first and look at this candle and say, right, that was the low there. So I'm going to set my stop loss around that level in preparation, right? I'm not going to do anything yet, but I'm going to put it in preparation. That's a 1.44% stop loss. And if it drops down below it, I've got everything set up in the exchange, and I just click go. And then what I do to look at my profit targets, if I get rid of I don't want to get rid of that, but if I look at, then let's get rid of to look at my profit targets, I then go to this and I look for the green means support, the red means resistance, right? So if I go down to the 5 minute, I found resistance here on the trade I took before, right? So that's what I do. That's
Sweet.
what I do, in essence. That's a quick summary of what I do.
Yeah, that looked pretty simple. That looks, not gonna lie.
It's really simple.
It's easier than drawing trend lines, to be honest.
You've got to look for those liquidity sweeps. You see them every time. Look,
Yeah.
down, up. You see it every time. And but my stops are literally my when I put these on, what do they call them? The long position. They tend to look like this, where the stop is really short, like really small. And if it goes against me, which it has done, you know, you get into it. I got one where it went up, went into a trade, and instantly dropped beneath it, and then went up, and I was stopped out. Right, but the loss was tens of dollars, as opposed to, you know, staying in a trade and getting hundreds of. Had it have continued going down, having hundreds of dollars loss, you know. So it's just a simple approach. But for me, I found a method that works. But the key word is patience. And all I do, you know, if it's coming down here, when it was coming down today, let's say it was up here, I just set an alert here. Crossing, down, go. And that was it. It's probably going to fire right now, actually. But but you know, that's all I do. That's it.
Yeah.
Not quite fired, but I bet you it's going to fire any second. And it goes on my phone. So if I'm there you go. So if I am sat in my office, I'm watching a video, I'm learning something, or doing some programming, ding, it goes off. I go, right, and then I look at the chart, and I've got that set up on. I need to clear these out actually, because I've looked at them all. But I've got all these alerts set up on different coins that I'm interested in, and I only go back when they ping me, and that's all I need to do. That's it.
Sweet.
So that's my update for today. Let's have a look at the state of play. We're on the 1 hour table.
Have we looked at the sectors?
Oh, sorry, let's do that. But I think you know what I'm going to show you. You know, I sent.
Who's leading the race to zero?
Anybody who's watching this, I sent Biz a video that I wanted to replace the intro, and it was an old 70s band called Status Quo, and they had a song called Down Down. It's like a rock song called Down Down. Oh, and I wanted that to be the intro tonight, but copyright and all those things.
Yeah.
But yes, Down Down, Deeper and Down are the actual lyrics of the song. But and so we can't get any lower before we're bouncing on the bottom.
Oh
so
my goodness, look at that. I've never seen it go to zero.
Oh no, I have. I mean, what's interesting is when you go back, you don't have to go back very far before we were bouncing off the top. And that was only the 9th of December. So that was 11 days ago. And since that time, it's just been gradually trying to go back up. And then the 12-hour goes, it's going down. Now the day's going, you know, and I don't know what the day is going to be tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, interestingly enough, if I go to here and go to the elite channel, we're now down to 29 that are left, juicy tips left active from over 300, I think 340, 50, I can't remember how many we had. But as you can see in the stats, those that are still there, 100% have gone to 30% in profit. And 93.1 have gone up to 50% in profit. So they do work, you know, and I use juicy tips for different reasons. I sometimes when a juicy tip over comes in, like if I go to here, your favorite coin came in. No, sorry, no, it was here. No, wrong one. This one. Your favorite coin came in today, Biz. XRP had a juicy tip over. Max profit achieved 436. Well, 437% profit. And sometimes when I get a juicy tip over, which means it's had a pullback enough to reach our stop, which we set liberally anyway, just to give things space, sometimes that's a good place to look to see if they're going to bounce. So yeah, it's Zazook is good for that. I use Zazook in many different ways when trade updates come in on certain coins, things like that. But also my SQL queries that I use for finding, like I found Zen today, and Zen's just been doing really good all day.
Yeah. So what was the thing you were gonna show on ME?
Oh yeah. So ME, that's a 15-minute demand zone there, right? Ba-doom. So it had this pattern, which is often happens. It comes up, goes like this, it goes like this, it goes like this, it fires off. And I didn't take it. In fact, I think it happened overnight for me. So yes, it started at my 2:45 in the morning. But it did actually, I know you'd been searching for some profits in this goddamn thing, but it did actually go up nearly 28%.
Yeah, it was it's a pretty nice move.
Yeah. Considering that's where we are in this move.
Yeah.
But yes, I wanted to share that with you because, again, using the same principles, had I been awake, you know, I might have seen that. Don't know. I might not, but I don't know. But you'll see how it went through it, came down, went beneath it, and then shot off. Same principle that I've just been showing you here.
Yeah.
A different pattern, not after a go down. There are different patterns here. There is kind of this. There's there's like this, for supply and demand zones, and then order books that have not been touched. You can if you get a sort of not order book, order block, if they've not been touched, which I had today here, this had simply not been touched.
Oh.
And then it came down and hit it. So once it bounced, I was fairly confident, you know. But again, still a very tight stop. If I got stopped out, I didn't really care. Didn't lose a lot. But the winnings today were great because of using that principle.
Yeah. So takeaway from this, at least, you know, if you're trading in a bear market, identify your demand zones. At the bottom of the demand zone, identify where that last move played out to. So you're so below that, and then that would be your sort of your risk. Set an alert.
Yes, beneath a liquidity sweep, right?
Yeah.
Beneath that liquidity sweep, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what you call a liquidity sweep.
It's not necessarily demand zones. It is demand zones, but it's also things like order blocks. I'm quite happy one night to take you through how to set them up, how to know if they're a valid order block or not, because there are kind of criteria as to whether they kind of have more validity, you know. But I can take you through them. But so it's not demand zones are quite simple. You can just see an area where you've got this, right? You've got this kind of stuff here. So and that you could put that on here and go, well, there's an area there. But what I tend to do is go to this and use these.
Yeah.
So I go, okay, so that's whoops, I've done it again. Do you know, I keep pressing the wrong button on my instead of Alt, I press instead of Option on my Mac, I press Command, and then it kind of minimizes the app. So I do things like that where, let me just, oh yeah, that's in, let me put that in yellow so I can see it when I go back to here. So I do things like that. I know I did the wrong thing. I meant to do Alt H. To find areas, if I just do an Alt H here and get rid of that yellow one, you can see here, it's highlighting that exact zone that I was showing you before.
Yeah.
So you don't need to go searching the charts. You just use the volume profile, find the point of control, stick them on at various levels and go find them. You know, it's not that hard. And then really, 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 really be strict on your risk reward ratios. Go in at the right time, have your stops very tight. If it goes against you, so what? You know, like now, look, it looks like it might go above the profit I took again. I don't really care. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and do it again. I don't care. So it's kind of no stress, really. You can I place my trades and then I go out for a cigarette or I go make a coffee. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. And if it goes up to my if I come back and it's halfway, I raise my stop. You know, straight away I raise my stop above my entry. So that even if it gets stopped out after that, it's just above break even. And then I raise it again.
Yeah.
Quite quick on exchanges to do that. And then eventually you either get stopped out at a profit or you get your profit target. End of story. So there's no, it's completely different to just buy and hold, right? If you're just buying it, you don't have time, you want to get at a cheap price. And again, if you go to things like SUI right now, if I go back to here and go to SUI, you're getting SUI, if I go back to say 4 hours, a massive discount. It's now actually gone back up, 9%. But you're getting SUI from back here when I was first watching it. When I was first saying I'm going to buy SUI back in November, you got it at the same price. And yet you might have thought, oh, I've missed it now. I missed a big part of the move, 45%. Nope. It came all the way back down. But if you're trading it on a day, then you need to do the setup like I just do. Or find your own approach, right? But for me, what I do works with low risk.
Sweet. All right. Well,
That's it. Everybody just keep your eye on the big blue. See what the big blue is doing. It could go down further. Be careful. If you're not in a trade, stay out unless you can sit in front of the chart or be around a computer, or certainly do what I do: set your stop losses, set your profit targets, let it run.
All right. Well, I think that's it for today. Thanks, Sandy, for sharing your insights. And man, glad to hear that you pulled off significant trades. If I could have cut my workday, lower and had more time to do other things, I mean, yesterday would have been the best day for it. So I'm definitely going to be looking at those demand zones and learning how to chart that, because I think that's really a good tool to utilize. So yeah, appreciate you for sharing that. And thank you everyone for watching. And it is a bloody one out there. We are seeing a little bit of a bounce. Don't know. There's a lot of indecisiveness in the market. So hopefully we see that confirmation if you're going long, if you're going short. I don't know. I mean, the move seems like it's in, but we also have to play our cards. I just think that identifying your demand zone is actually a key thing. So that's my biggest takeaway for today. All right.
Supply and demand if you're going short and long. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Take care. Join our Discord if you're not already in there. And love to talk shop, talk charts, and see what you guys are into as well as some juicy tips. Who knows? Could we identifying something that we don't know? So yeah, always down to collaborate. All right, that's it for today. Let's see. It is Friday, December 20th. So we'll see you again on Monday. Have a good weekend, everybody. Take care.